everyone, this is Rachel. Thanks for clicking on my video. And I came in today to do like a follow-up video to the video that I did about Kanye West the other day. Since I did that video, I have watched other videos people have done here on YouTube and, just a lot of stuff that's going on in the media concerning what Kanye said. And what I have noticed is a lot of people are making excuses for, him saying that slavery was a choice. Now, yesterday I watched a video of my sis S_Hutchinson. And I'm just going to call her by her name because our YouTube names are kind of long. So I'm just going to refer to her as Shelly. Everyone knows that that's her name. One thing that I noticed about Shelly is that she is very honest with her struggles, with mental health and physical, issues that she is dealing with. And when she's honest with her mental health issues, she calls it clocking your T's. And what she means by that is that you don't have to tell her what she is or is not. She tells you what she is. What I like about what Shelly does is Shelly tells you, yes, I recognize that I have some issues, but she also educates you on what she's going through. And she does it in a funny, humorous way. But when you sit there and you listen to, her really go into what she's dealing with, and you look behind her humor and all of that and understand what this girl is telling you, I respect her. There are a lot of celebrities that are dealing with mental issues, being bipolar and all of that. And they have sat down and done interviews about, them dealing with mental health issues. So when they do that, it explains a lot of their behavior. Now, what that brings me back to with Kanye is this. In the last few days, I've watched videos of people making excuses for him. And I don't appreciate that because like _Hutchinson said, or Shelly said, when you are honest with who you are, what you are dealing with, basically clocking your own T's, it helps people to understand when you have behavior that is erratic or is not normal. She even talked about how she started a video and she hadn't taken her meds and she felt like she was all over the place. And within that video, she tells you, I just took my meds. As you guys can see, I have calmed down a little bit and I'm, more stable. I just feel like this. Kanye has not honestly clocked his own T's. He has not admitted and taken accountability for the state of his life and where he is and how that affects his behavior. Because we talk about this latest event where he said slavery was a choice, and we try to explain it away by saying, okay, after his mother died, he wasn't right and all of that. But Kanye wasn't right before his mother died. I remember, controversial things that he did and said prior to his mother dying. A lot of this has to do with a certain arrogance that he has. People keep saying that he is a genius and all of this. Now, don't get me wrong. I think he's a talented writer and entertainer, but I would not consider him a genius. I consider people like Albert Einstein a genius, Thomas Edison a genius. People like that, geniuses. I don't consider a rapper a genius. I consider them a talented writer, a talented entertainer. I think these labels that people are putting on Kanye as being a genius has gone to his head. And that accounts for some of this reckless behavior that he's doing. This uneducated responses and commentary that he gives, it doesn't make sense. When he made that comment about slavery being a choice, and he was on TMZ, until that boy shut him down, Kanye was displaying that arrogance, that he has, that he is above the fray, and he is this, you know, thinker that none of us can understand, and all of that. When you're dealing with mental illness and bipolar, you believe that you are in this different realm and other people are not seeing what you see. That's part of the illness. And when Shelly talked about that in her video, how she wonders why the people around Kanye don't pull him back. Shelly said that in her video. She said that there are times when she's not doing okay. And she readily admits it. But she said one thing that she thanks the people around her for is pulling her back when they know that she's gone too far or she's getting too far. And they do that because they love her. And they know, that she's struggling at that point. And she said it helps keep her, on an even keel. And that's why, I have a lot of respect for Shelly. Because when a person is struggling and they're being honest, I have a family member that struggles with mental health. And for this family member, it is a struggle. One thing that I notice about people that deal with mental health issues, when they understand that there is a problem, it helps them to deal with it better. But when you don't recognize that you have a problem, like Kanye, he'll admit some things, but he won't admit the true depth of what he's dealing with. So when I look at my family member who I've spoken to for hours on end, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, I respect my family member for understanding I have a problem. And if I don't stay aware of where I am in my head, I can go off and lose myself to this life, meaning possibly, thoughts of suicide or hurting themselves. But the fact that this family member is true to who they are and recognizing that they have a problem, I believe that that's what keeps them on the even keel. And when you are allowed to go out all willy-nilly, like Kanye, with people around you not pulling you back. Now, there is a difference between Shelly, my family member, and Kanye. Kanye has a lot of money, a lot of power, and, a lot of celebrity. So he is at a different point where maybe those people can't pull him back because of his celebrity, because of his power. He's not listening. And there's that arrogance again, that thing where he thinks he knows everything, which is going to lead ultimately to his demise if these people cannot get a handle on him. He's going to go out, say something, do something, because he's already in a lot of trouble with, the black community not wanting to support, his music, his clothing line, and all of that. Is he going to keep going out there saying and doing things to the point where people just say, you know what, fuck Kanye, I don't want to have nothing to do with him, I don't want to buy his music, I don't want to support anything that he puts out, and which will lead to his professional demise? When I watched these videos of people who were making excuses for him, I was saying to myself, this is the exact reason why he's out here doing this. Because when you watch that TMZ video and that young black man shut him down, if they would have let the interview play, Kanye goes over, because it's a moment in the video where where it seems like Kanye realizes, you know what, I put my foot in my mouth, because there was someone there to pull him back, and he went over and apologized to that young man, because in that moment that young man said, whoa, 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 what are you talking about? And it brought Kanye back. It made him stop, focus, and say, you know what, I was talking out my head, and maybe I said too much. And a lot of people are saying that, we don't understand what he meant, and he really didn't meant that. Maybe he didn't say it right. There's no other way to interpret what he said other than he believes that it was a choice, that we could have risen up and overcome what was beating us down. One of my subscribers said it would have been like fighting a battle where the enemy had guns and we were throwing rocks. What Kanye fails to remember is that there were several unsuccessful and successful uprisings in slavery. And I watched another video where there was this woman talking about how the slaves didn't understand, because they were kept so ignorant, not being able to read, not being able to leave the plantation without fear of being beat or killed, that they did have a choice in their captivity. They didn't know any better, They had watched other slaves being killed and beaten for the slightest thing, and their whole thing was survival. We have to survive this. And like I said, there were many uprisings where slaves did fight back, and they did try to run away, and they did try to get to freedom, So I just don't want us to make excuses for Kanye, in his insanity almost, or his mental health struggles, to write off what he said, because I do believe that Kanye has lucid moments where he is totally 100% aware of what he's saying. Let's face it, he's not running through the streets butt naked yelling and screaming. There are lucid moments, and in those moments, does he regret some of the things that he said? I don't think that at this time he does, because he's saying one crazy thing after another. He's doing one crazy thing after another. We as African Americans, we have a right to feel as we want to feel about what he said, Like Nene Leakes says, he said what he said and he meant what he said, He has been on a path of reckless destruction of his own life. And the reason why is because, and I'm going to go back to what Shelly says, he has not clocked his own T's, meaning that he has not recognized that he had a problem and articulated to the public fully that he has a problem. We're all speculating that he has, mental illness, that he might be bipolar. But has Kanye sat down with a doctor and admitted it, and, sat down and said in an interview, I'm dealing with mental health issues. I am bipolar. Please excuse me for some of the things that I might say, or some of the behavior that I might, display. I'm dealing with something. There's an actress by the name of Jennifer Lewis. She plays the mother in a lot of black movies and all of that. She openly talks about dealing with being bipolar, and how it took her a long time to be diagnosed, but after she was diagnosed, it explained to her a lot of her behavior when she was younger. People respect you when you are honest with yourself, you're honest with the public, and that's why S_Hutchinson, Shelly, I respect her because a lot of times when she's talking, like I said, she's being humorous about what she's going through. But the reason why I respect her is because she's honest about it. And she educates you on just how mental health can affect your life, your family, and everything around you. When you listen behind the words of what she's saying, because that's what I do. I laugh when she's being humorous, when she talks about her unbothered pills. I think that is so funny. But what I recognize when she talks about that is that she's educating us. She's really educating us. And I remember a while back, she was getting a little flack, people saying really negative things about her mental illness and the pills that she takes. And I was a little angry on her behalf because I was saying, here is a woman that is putting herself out there, being honest about her life and the struggles that she has, and you're bashing her for that. You're making jokes about, what she's dealing with. That's why people don't like to come out and be honest about their struggles, because people, you know, make fun of it or talk negatively about it. But even with all of that, she says that that doesn't bother her because she knows who she is and she's just being honest about what she's going through. And I wish that Kanye would do that, because when he doesn't, for me, it comes off as him being reckless with his mouth, him being arrogant, him thinking he's above everyone, him believing this thing that he is a genius. Like I said, I don't think of him as a genius. He would not be my idea. If I pictured a genius, it would not be Kanye. He is a talented writer and he's a talented entertainer. Nothing more, nothing less. I believe that this boy needs to go somewhere, get diagnosed, come to terms with what he's dealing with, be honest to himself and the public. And maybe when he has episodes like this, where he's running around talking recklessly and acting reckless, we can forgive him because we know that he has clocked his T's with being honest with himself and the public, and we can let it go. But when he doesn't, he just looks like an arrogant, spoiled, pampered, rich black man. And that's what it is, y'all. I want to know what y'all think about it. Leave it down in the comments. Do you believe that Kanye has totally been honest with himself when it comes to his mental illness? Do you think that he has gone somewhere and sat down with professionals to diagnose exactly what is going on with him? Do you think that he's been humble and came to the public and said humbly, I am dealing with some issues, y'all. When I do things like this, please excuse me, because I am not on my unbothered pills, as Shelly would say, and it makes me, do things that are reckless. Just let me know down in the comments what you think. And with that, y'all, this is the end of the video. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to listen to me rambling. I want you guys to stay safe out there because, like I always say, it is open season on us. Love on yourself and be honest with yourself. Take care now. Bye-bye.